Subscribe now.
A surprise in the oven. Once upon a time, an old woman named Tante Adela lived in French Canada. She lived alone with her big gray cat and the cows in her barn. One morning, she got up very early as it was baking day and there was much to do. She took a load of wood outside to her oven. "Now, why would the oven door be open?" she said. She poked a stick inside to see that no leaves or twigs had blown in, but the stick would not go far. Something was in there. The old woman bent over to look in. When she saw what she saw, Tante Adela slammed the oven door shut. She ran out of her yard and down the road as fast as she could. At Felix Bell's farm, she saw her neighbor drawing a bucket of water from the well. "Felix, Felix," she called out. "Come quick, there's a skunk in my oven." "Are you sure?" said Felix. "Maybe it's your cat." "Of course I'm sure," said Tante Adela. "Does my cat have a white stripe down his back?" "I will come as soon as I draw this bucket of water," said Felix. Tante Adela turned and dashed back to the road. She headed for the next farm, the farm of Louis Ross. "Louis, Louis," she cried, out of breath. "Come right away. There's a skunk in my oven." "A skunk?" said Louis. "Are you sure it is not a scrap of old fur coat you may have thrown away by mistake?" "Why would I throw away a fur coat?" said Tante Adela. "I'll come over as soon as I finish feeding the chickens." The old woman turned to the road and limped to the farm of Samuel Roy. "Samuel, Samuel," she cried out, "you must come to my farm. There's a skunk in my oven." "Are you sure?" said Samuel. "Maybe you saw a shadow inside." "Does a shadow have a bushy tail?" said Tante Adela. "Does a shadow grit its teeth at me? I don't think so. I'll come right over," said Samuel, "just as soon as I finish weeding." By the time Tante Adela made it back home, Felix and Louis were already there. Soon after, Samuel came too, and others who had heard about the skunk. "Yep, there's a skunk in there all right," said Madame Ross, who had opened and closed the door. "I know that," said Tante Adela. "The question is, what to do about it?" "I will run home and get my gun," said Felix. "No, no," cried Tante Adela. "Think of the smell." "You got that right," thought the skunk in the oven. "She wouldn't be able to bake in her oven for a month," said Madame Roy. "Besides, it would spoil the pelt," said Samuel, who trapped for furs. "Let's not talk about my pelt," thought the skunk. "What if we got a dog?" said Alice, the daughter of Samuel. "A dog will bark, and maybe that will scare the skunk out." "If the skunk gets scared," said Tante Adela, "think of what it would do." "What if we get a piece of meat and tie it to a string?" suggested someone else. "The skunk will come out when it smells it." "I have no meat," snapped Tante Adela. "And if I did, I would not waste it on a skunk." By then, everyone was getting bored. One by one, most of the villagers who had gathered found a reason to head home. At this time, Tante Adela saw Jules Martel come into the yard. "Jules," she said, "there's a skunk in my oven. Can you get him out without scaring him?" Jules nodded. He walked to the oven, opened the door, and leaned inside. He spoke in a low voice. No one could tell what he was saying. At last he stepped back. The sharp face of the skunk stuck out of the oven doorway. It wiggled its way over the edge and dropped to the ground. Slowly the skunk made its way through the yard, holding its head high. It headed into the woods and disappeared. Tante Adela was thrilled. The others were amazed. "How did you get him to come out?" said Tante Adela to Jules. "What did you say to it?" said Samuel. "I just said," said Jules, "would you be so kind to come out of Tante Adela's oven?" The skunk said to me, "That suits me fine. Who needs all this commotion?" I thanked the skunk, and then he came out. "This calls for a celebration," said Tante Adela. "Tonight at sunset, you are all invited for fresh baked sweetbread. And Jules, since you were the only one who thought to ask, I'm baking you my famous blueberry muffins."